First off, deepest apologies. I'm away from my PC right now, and I wanted to get this video out as soon as I could, so if this looks and sounds like it was filmed on a potato, it's because it was. Overwatch just released a massive trailer about everything that's going to be coming out in the new season, and I have some thoughts. We do have a little bit of more information specifically for how all 5 of the new characters are going to function in the game. WellPlayed Media did get invited to a Blizzard event, and they just recently posted gameplay footage of all 5 of the new characters. I'm going to post all of this in the description below so that you can go check it out for yourself, but I did want to give my thoughts specifically for what this is going to mean for the state of the game. So this is the new tank, DOMINA, and she basically, from the way that it was described on the season overview, I think they said she's a 100% poke style character, which is really fascinating considering that Vendetta, who just released, I'm pretty sure in her announcement video they said that she was going to be a 100% brawl character. So, you know, Editor Ben, you can fact check me on that.
She's our first full melee DPS. Torgrim's Hammer doesn't count, and a real threat to your backline.
It looks like they're trying to experiment with the 3 designs for how the characters function and see, can they go all the way into one of the 3 areas. It's like poke, brawl, and dive. Okay, so first off here, what you're about to see, I just want to see her use her primary fire here for a second. She's another beamed character, but she also has that ranged projectile ability, and I haven't been able to figure out, granted, this is all of the information that we have right now, at least until the characters officially drop. I'm trying to figure out if it's a charged shot or not, because it's like every time that you see her doing anything, it's just like brrr, boom, brrr, boom. Brrr. So like, I'm trying to see if it functions, if you can just let the gun function like a sim beam, or if you have to charge up the shot to send a larger projectile like you're playing Sojourn or something like that. But I think the person is gonna do, yep, there's her E. So I'm pretty sure that was the E, and that it just like sends some sort of, it sends like an exploding projectile, which is crazy. And a shield that you have to break in sections is also a really cool concept. Like, we have a lot of shield characters because we've got like Rom and Sigma. This is an interesting way to take that concept and just run with it. Do something a little bit different. Even Orisa has a different style for her shield because it basically takes another one of her abilities, because it just functions as a major perk. Medium ranged beam and culminates in a high impact shot. So it is like on a timed shot, so you can't just charge it and fire like a Sojourn railgun. It genuinely does function just like a brrr, boom. So 2 thoughts. That's the thing that I was gonna cover. That means that even though it's a beamed character, you would think, oh, that's a really difficult character for D.Va to go up against. And yes, that is gonna be true, but if it's set up so that her timing is always gonna be beam, projectile, you can time that with your defense matrix so that you can at least block some of the damage. It isn't like Zarya where you're just gonna be like walking around a corner and you're just constantly fighting the breath of Godzilla. This looks like something that it could genuinely be, it's gonna be difficult. Like, don't get me wrong, this is gonna be really difficult for D.Va to fight this character, especially if they have really good supports, but it's not gonna be impossible if you know how to time your defense matrix. You're gonna drain it, definitely. But like, that's kind of how you have to do it with Sigma, where you just hold left click, or hold right click, let go, hold right click, let go. So you kind of have to time that already if you're gonna fight someone like Sigma. So I'm thinking some of the combos are just gonna be get them low and hit E, especially if you're fighting squishies as playing this tank. What kind of range does that thing have? Holy cow! So that little time down thing, was that her? What's that for? Is that for her gun? Oh, that's the shield. Oh, so that's nice. So it actually tells, so that's another interesting thing. Instead of Sigma shield where it just breaks and then you have to regenerate the power to have a stronger shield, or like ROM where it looks like it just is running on a timer, this is strictly running on a timer. So it's like you can still break the shield, well, the different segments of the shield, but it's also on a timer so that it's not permanently up. You can't just leave it up all the time like Sigma. I wonder if that means you can't actually recall the shield if you wanted to. Because I'm thinking it's probably not if it's running on a strict timer. Oh, great. She's flanking, so we're going to probably see her ultimate. Right. That's what was in the video. So that little shell blocks damage from coming from the enemy characters, blocks healing from getting to them, and I think it also does explosive damage after a few seconds. Yep. Oof. That's so distracting. So overall, this looks like, again, speaking as a diva main, this is a character who is definitely going to be tough to go up against. I don't think it's going to be impossible, but it's going to be really, really hard. Like basically anything beyond gold, plat lobby, maybe even plat lobbies is going to be pushing it. The range on the primary fire though, that feels very far. Like that's farther than farther than a Symmetra beam, even with her major perk. Like you're all the way back here at this corner of the map. She's about to start shooting at lava squid. I'm hearing in the headphones, those shots are hitting. That beam is hitting people. The range on the primary fire is insane. Dang. Oh, she's a very strong tank. Oh, there you go. The primary fire looks super strong. Okay, this can be very easily become one of those characters where it's a cheese character. So when Vendetta was like first released, she dominated against like all the squishies. She still does. But then what happened was it was very obvious that she was going to have to be a relatively high skill ceiling character, not just due to the fact of she's very easy to play. She's very difficult to play well, which is one of the things that I noticed when she first released is that you have to be very, very much aware of your surroundings. Kind of the same thing with Venture. You have to have a very good sense of spacing, where you're playing, what to go for, what dives to go for. So Vendetta is a character that I knew was going to be very difficult to play in high lobbies, high level lobbies. And then lo and behold, season 20 rolls around, it's her official release, and they buff Vendetta, strictly saying immediately, she was difficult to play in high level lobbies, so we wanted to make her a viable option in those scenarios, which is fine. But unfortunately for like the lower metal ranks, that just means that the state of the game has devolved into who has the better Vendetta or who can counter Vendetta. And as someone who doesn't really play a lot of DPS, I was kind of torturing people on Vendetta. This, I feel like, is another character that could be, if left completely unchecked, she could be a huge problem as far as, like, you're not going to win games unless you have a Domina on your team, or who has the better Domina. And if that becomes the state of the game, it's going to be, it's not going to be fun, y'all. It's not going to be fun. I can see the vision and I can see what they're going for, and I do like how she has more unique playstyle. Hold it. I would have popped that shield like in this little corner area. Here. I'm pointing at the screen like you can see. I'll hit your E. Hold on, wait. Yeah, you have your E. So this is going to be another character that watching your cooldowns is going to be making or breaking if you can get a kill on someone who's very much low health. Because here, right in this, I'm pointing at the screen again. Here, right in this instant, you have a character who's super low health. Granted, your E is on a 2-second cooldown, but once she turns that corner, boom, you have the ability to hit your E. It brings her in. You can get a kill right there. These are the moments that are going to like make and break whether or not your tank playing this character is going to be able to do decent damage in your team comp. Right here, you shouldn't be hitting your hitting your primary fire, because you can easily just hit your E and then boom. If you sent that burst damage in, that tank would be dead in like a matter of like seconds right here. only you missed it because instead of going for a shorter burst, you just basically let her walk right past. You are going to get the kill though, but like you could have gotten that a little bit sooner, and then you wouldn't have to leave the payload, which is still heading on, because now you basically walked off with one of your supports. I mean, granted, in the grand scheme of things, it didn't really matter because the enemy team backed away, but those are the kinds of situations that as a tank, you really need to be careful about where you're placing yourself, because those are the make or break situations. You always want to put yourself in the line of wherever the payload is going. Overall, I think that this is a character who it's not going to be difficult to fight, especially if you're playing Diva, but as long as she's kept in check. So like, I really do feel like there's a storm brewing. So there are other videos that do show gameplay from some of the other characters, but I really mainly just wanted to talk about the tank because that's my department. That's really what I know a lot about and the most about. I'm very much excited for this character, and I'm very much excited for this new update that they have coming out. I would like to stream, hopefully, soon, especially with the brand new season coming up, so be looking here for that if you want to see more tips and tricks, especially for the other characters. I do hope to have this out just before the hero trial tomorrow on the 5th, but we'll see how that goes because of the editing process. I'll see you guys later.